Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins. Before it all began, we lived a peaceful life. My father was a blacksmith, and I would one day take over his trade. Unfortunately, the town where we lived was where the king's silver was mined. And that was exactly what Sigismund was after. That, and to show what would happen to anyone who dared to oppose him. And that day I lost everything. Family, home, honor. The time has come to take it all back.
Hello, Ryan here, aka Civil Messiah, and welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, the big news is the beta has just been released. In fact, I think it was about a week ago. But this brings loads of new stuff for it, not to mention that they've expanded the map. You've got the first introduction to the storyline, several fully fledged quests with multiple solutions as well, apparently. You have the first historical battle, a big battle. New engagements with NPCs, the expanded stealth system, so there's visibility, takedowns, poisoning, sabotage, and disguises. More weapon choices, you've got the short sword and the long sword. I think we had the swords in before, but now there's shields, axes, and maces. Huge enlargement of the map, as stated before. New villages, castles, a deep forest, new dynamic weather system, which I've had a little play around in, and it looks incredible. Also, the first motion captured cutscenes. They introduced the crime system, which was in the alpha. New sword fighting techniques and much more. Now, the problem is my sword fighting is terrible and it sucks, but who cares? Let's get on with it. So when you first join it, you've got the Jack of all trades, diplomat or squire. Jack of all trades is able to use all sorts of stuff. Diplomat has a silver tongue and stealth preferred. And Squire has a strong arm and a sharp sword. So I'm going to go Jack of all trades because it's probably the best option.
After the kidnapping of the king, chaos and turmoil ruled the land, and our province was no exception. We were overrun by bandits and marauders, and the roads were no longer safe. The most terrible massacre happened at the stud farm in Neuhof, which was raided and torched. and all the horses slaughtered. My liege lord sent his men, led by Sir Robert of Talmberg, to track down the killers and to bring them to justice. I rode with them, but the investigation has been slow and difficult. Whenever I came across some trace of the bandits, someone erased it in the cruelest way imaginable. In the end, though, I got one step ahead of the enemy. I found out one of the bandits was still alive and hiding near Talmberg. But before I set out to track him down, I had to report to Sir Robert.
Faster! In a real fight, you'd be dead already.
Sir.
Ah, Henry. Carry on. Well, lad, have you made any progress with the investigation?
Yes, sir. I think I have at last.
So you've found someone who isn't gutted and nailed to a wall?
It wasn't easy, sir, but I believe I have. I have information about one of the bandits who did it. He's even hiding in a village nearby.
God's blood. It's true the darkest shade is beneath the candlestick. Who is he?
I only know that they call him Riki, and he's from here in Talmberg.
That's it.
You wouldn't believe how much effort it took me to find that out. But I think it's enough to go on.
But what if he's dead too?
I think we'd already know if he was. These fellows are not given to subtlety.
True enough. We haven't found any more mutilated corpses. Well, get on with it then. And when you find him, come and see me. Most likely I'll be in the encampment by Merhoed.
You can rely on me, sir. Farewell.
And be careful, Henry. I know what that rabble did to you. But remember with whom you're dealing. Don't start any foolhardiness on your own. Understood?
I'll try not to, sir.
So there we go. I will just start by saying this is beta, and so things are not optimized. So the things do pop in and out. The frames I'm getting are about 38 at the moment. They do vary quite a bit depending on where you go. If you go into the town, it's a lot worse. But I have got it all turned up to the highest settings, and the reason why I do this is because if you have it on custom, you can choose here where you can go custom, low, medium, high, whatever. But I find that when you have it on anything custom, let me just turn the audio down a bit, it gets a lot worse. Just put that down to there. It's a shame because the music score, I'll keep the music score on because they actually have it dynamically to what's going on screen. But anyway, you play this chap called Henry, who has, as you heard in the story, has just been attacked. His town has been attacked. His family's killed and all sorts, and you've come to this place. I'm not sure where we are. This is a new town. To try and figure out what's going on. So, if I just go to the quest line. Given the nature of my investigation, it wouldn't hurt to take a bit of combat training. Sorry about that. After all, I don't want to lose my head, so I'd better go to Merhoed, military encampment. It should teach me something there. And then on the scent, this is the thing where I've got to search for Riki. So we'll do this while we're in the village, and then eventually head off to Merhoed. And I think the Merhoed encampment was actually in the original alpha, in the start of the alpha, so It's a place we've seen before. This is my little pony. I'll call him Paul. But this is the new village, and the castle is all new as well. The graphics are actually insane, and it's been a little while since I've done a video on this. And I know I've got a few more subscribers since. So, for those of you who are new to it, it's supposed to be kind of a realistic medieval quest game, really. It's just... It looks incredible. Let's get off my horse and we'll ask some people around here. But yeah, something I would like to change so far is getting the UI off the screen, because they've gone to all this effort of making the game look gorgeous. Whistle. Bit of an echo. They've made this game look so nice, and the UI, I think, spoils it for me. And the second thing is that when you're on the horse, if you turn either way, left or right, it'll recenter your view, which I don't like. I think that needs to be up to the player. But let's ask this chap. Excuse me. Right, so let's ask him about Talmberg first.
Tell me something about Talmberg.
This guy didn't talk. Got a good alehouse and bathhouse. Very popular with the travellers. Otherwise, it's like any other village. As I say, it's still in progress. The script and the talking is still... okay, takes you ages to say that. It's still a bit iffy at the moment, but it's got to be worked on. It's not final.
Listen, I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek? The courier's son?
Yes, maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But be warned, the old courier is as crabby as they come.
So, do you know him? Can you tell me anything about him? What's his father like? Why do they call him Riki? Let's start with this one.
Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
He's a bastard.
Oh yeah? In what way?
He's a scoundrel who keeps company with all sorts and gets up to devilry. Folk don't talk to him much.
Okay, excellent. This guy seems to know a lot about him.
The old courier.
The apple never falls far from the tree. Hinek's a scoundrel and his father's a grouchy old bastard.
Right, so why do they call him Riki?
Why do they call Hinek Riki, anyway?
Have you ever been in a tanning shop? If not, go there and you'll see for yourself. On the other hand, it might have something to do with his reputation, too.
I'm assuming it's because he stinks. How come he has such a bad reputation?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Most of the neighbours stay well clear of him, because he goes around with the wrong people. A dubious pack they are. I wouldn't wonder if they were thieves or even murderers.
There must be someone who talks to Riki.
No one at all talks to him.
There's one bathhouse wench talks to him. A filthy harlot, of course. Who else?
And what's this harlot's name?
Adela, I think.
So we've got to find Adele. Right, good, but I don't think there's anything else. Where is... Ah, there you go, the baths. That's what I need to find out. Right by the fish pond. You can't miss it. There's a big white tent in the courtyard. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Let's head on over there. I don't think I need to learn the rest. So it does actually have a proper day-night cycle. At the moment, it's about 12 o'clock, is that? Oh no, it's 11 o'clock, so if I was to wait for an hour. The waiting, I won't wait because it takes forever for the clock to tick past. So it's near the pond. Is that here? Let me just check the map. Oh, it's actually down here, I think. Excuse me, lady. Who's this? Is this Adele? Adela, should I say? Oh no, I don't think it is Adela. Oh, it is! Excellent, that was lucky.
What? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
I wasn't suggesting anything.
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Well, where is he,
Where
perhaps?
can I find a Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
So this little speech icon means that I can use speech to try and persuade her to sort of give me more information. I'm going to try the first one.
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnick's, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
I really don't know what you want from me.
Bagger.
So
Failed.
Hinnick is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Maybe I can try the next one.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, pillages, humans, and God knows what kind of vermin around, I'd say that's pretty suspicious.
But Hinnick certainly has nothing to do with those people.
Then what does he do there? I don't expect he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me.
Just walked into
So
me.
Hinnick is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Well, she's not giving us anything else, so we've got to look in the woods. What's this over here? Not quite sure what that is. Part of the quest line, though. I wonder if that's the woods where I've got to go to. So, what we'll do, we'll get on our little pony, Paul, and we'll head off to this place here and see if we can find it. But what I'll do for this game is I'll do the main missions, and then I'll show you the different features of it, like the weather system and things like that. Where is Paul? There he is. He's where I left him. Good horse. Because there's so much to this game that is just incredible. And it was actually Star Citizen that pointed it out to me. Because Chris Roberts, with them like using the CryEngine, Chris Roberts posted it on the Star Citizen website. Shit, what the hell? Right, let's get going. I think it's just down here somewhere. As I say, it's a bit glitchy and it's unoptimized because it's in beta. The script or the voice acting again is not 100% finished yet. Sorry, I seem to have a cold today. It's not 100% finished yet, so that still needs to be worked on, which it will for the final game. But this is just sort of helping them test the features and so forth. And I think it's down here, isn't it? Yes. Did I pass the gate? I think I did. Looks like there's someone down here to speak to. It might be his dad, I wonder. Is it this? Can I jump over there? There we go. But there is actually also a full alchemy system. You can pick all these and create poisons, create medicines and stuff. You also have a sword. And we'll get onto sword play in a bit because it's difficult, but it's realistic. So I think this is the guy I've got to talk to. Sorry, mate. Didn't mean to draw my weapon. That might have affected his mood.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Have you ever heard tell of him?
Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinnick.
Uh-huh. You wouldn't happen to know where he is?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you know at least where he usually goes? It's quite important.
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Oh, Tom, Dick, or Harry. I am his envoy. Oh, that might work. I don't think threatening him's going to work.
Watch your tongue, peasant.
Oops.
I am an envoy of Sir Rotzik Kobila, and I'm conducting an investigation here. So stop hedging and tell me where your son is.
I didn't
right
believe that was
now.
the best way to go.
Sir Radzig's envoy. Sorry, try that on someone else.
Well, let's try a different one then. He's in trouble.
Your son is about to get into deep shit.
Clearly won't
I'm
believe
trying
me,
to
though.
Find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
This time his neck is on the block. He got mixed up with some very unsavory people. I have to find him.
I'm not surprised, but I still
Failed
can't
again.
help you. I don't know where he is.
So man's tough. See if I can threaten him instead.
Look here, fellow. Your son is in a serious scrape, and I'm trying to help you. Your evasions are starting to vex me, and my patience is running out.
Are you threatening me? And I'm supposed to believe that you want to help Hinnick?
Believe what you like. I'm concerned about Hinnick, but I don't care much what happens to you. Is that clear?
I don't know where he is. And if beating up an old man makes you feel like a hero, go right ahead. I've been beaten all my bloody life, so I'm well used to it.
Well, this conversation isn't going well.
Do you at least know anyone he's friends with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he's got to go to the baths.
Great. That hasn't helped at all. So that's him spoken to. I believe we still have to head off. Oh, that's good. It marked on the map where the bathhouse is. Now, I think all these stars are missions. So on the scent. Oh, it just tells me the same thing. Oops. You have to track down another member of the Neuhoff gang. A fellow who goes by the name of Riki. So that's the guy I'm looking for. Seems to stay in the woods, which is unusual. But also, if you look at the inventory now, you've got all these different slots here. I'll just show you this before we end the first episode. And these are all your clothing. You can get suits of armor and so forth. Jewelry by the looks of it. And here you've got shield, crossbow, or bow, arrows, more jewelry, different leg bits. It's probably not the best way to put it. But that you can have more than one sword, but not at any time. So you can only have one highlighted. Apple is food. It gives you your health and so forth and stamina a bit. You got bandages because if you start bleeding, you'll have to heal yourself. Lockpicks to break into things and money to buy things should you need to. Also, you can fit things onto your horse, which is pretty cool. So you can take the saddle off and ride bareback. Or you can put it on. You can have armor and all sorts of stuff. Really, really cool. He also has his own stats, which is just incredible. And the same for your character. So here, I think things all... this is the current visibility. 50%. I'm in the middle of the day. I'm stood in daylight. Conspicuousness. That doesn't make any sense. Noise. Speed 10. I assume all this will start increasing over time. But you have to sleep. Your stamina will start dropping. I must have eaten something because I've got 106 stamina. Yeah, that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, so it all goes down over time. So what we'll do is I'll head off. Where the hell did that go? He walks off while I'm looking at my stuff, I think. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so we'll head off to here. I'm not sure if this is Merhead or where the guy's hiding. But we shall try. And along the way, I might stop off at some cool locations and just show you. Just hop the fence. Got a nice... I'll say nice, it's not quite working yet. Fucking hell, we'll go around. Yeah, I'll set off onto that quest now, and then this will be the end of part 1. I'll bring the rest later on. I'm not sure how long the quest is, but we shall find out. But anyway, tell me your thoughts. It is actually going to be one of the great games of 2016, and it's available, or it will be available on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. So it's definitely worth checking out. Do subscribe so you don't miss any more, and I shall see you next time. But thank you for watching.